Hello folks. Well, you know, flying upside down or inverted helicopters was pretty tough when I was learning 30 years ago. With all the gyros and accelerometers on board, today's helicopters are pretty easy to fly upside down. But alas, you're going to see I have problems with the tail rotor. You're going to see it smoke. You're going to see some grass cutting inverted. You're going to see it touch and go.
I could never fly this thing very good upright because the cyclic and the tail rotor are on the wrong stick for me and for a 4-channel helicopter. So flying it upside down is really kind of wild because there is no cyclic, so there's no steering.
It was easy, and the Blade 300X is pretty easy to fly inverted too. It seems like 1 in 10 times though something goes wrong. Here the tail rotor servo was acting up. You're going to see why here in a minute. And also when this happens, make sure you get your thumb on the cut switch quick. Well, after waiting for the parts to come and 4 hours of labor, and it cost $125 to fix it after that crashed, I at least was happy there wasn't any tail damage, a bent boom, or tail rotor blades. I decided to take it out again after putting it back together, and I found that I was still having the same problem with the gyro and tail. I'd roll upside down and the heli would begin pirouetting on its own.
Why did that do that?
So as I land, you can see the servo began smoking, and as you can see, it pirouettes when I go inverted. I called Horizon, and the guy says he never heard of smoking servos before, so you know how that goes. Well, I didn't have a digital servo for the tail, but I did have another 576. So I decided to try to determine if it was the servo or the receiver. Well, I'm not one of those guys who slams the tail around that much, so I figured it'd be okay to at least test which was the problem, the gyro or the servo. This is only my 5th flight, you know.
Oh no, it's smoking. It's smoking.
So I called Horizon, and the tech said they never heard of that smoking servo. I didn't tell them this was the 5th flight or it was a new heli. It was obvious they were trying to make sure that they didn't have to replace anything for me. That's their job. And as you saw, it was acting up in the air. Well, maybe I did damage it in the gym crash, but again, there was no tail boom strike or any damage to the tail, and since the servo was working on takeoff, it seems like it was going to one side and stalling. Well, that usually would indicate a gyro problem. You know, I don't know what happened, but I had to change the servo out. And not having a 576T on hand, I went ahead and changed it out with a 576. I don't bang that tail much around, so that super accuracy only a few pros would recognize didn't bother me. But it did let me see if it was in the receiver or the servo. As you will see, it was the servo. So here we go again with an inverted grass cutting flight. Enjoy.
easier to see orange, huh?
That's enough.
When the wind's not blowing and it's not 30 degrees and I'm not flying with gloves, maybe I'll try that again.
I'm really glad to find out it was my servo and nothing else. I think there's something wrong with it right from the beginning because it's brand new, but you know you can't win in certain cases. Thanks a lot for watching, folks. Please subscribe and stay tuned. Happy flying from the Nightflyyer.
Oh.